I had an experience when I started on Out of Africa. I came in to do really second unit on Out of Africa. My name was not really any in the world of feature films at the time, you know. I had a phone call from production office. I was taking over main unit because the main unit operator was ill. And I was only a young lad, really. And nobody in the crew took me serious, you know what I mean? Because I was a joke. They were discussing how to do a shot, and everybody was suggesting and saying, well, maybe we should do this and maybe we should do that, and you know. And there was no conclusion in the thing. And so Sidney Pollack turned around and said, okay, what do you think? And my life flashed through my eyes, you know. It was like, that's it, I'm on the next available flight, for sure, you know. And I said, well, I think that we should do this and that and the other thing. And there was this silence. And they went, yeah, that's great. So what he taught me a great lesson. And is that everybody has a point of view. You can make a film a million ways, and they're all right. As soon as he's telling the story, you know what I mean? As soon as that, and that gave me a lot of confidence afterwards. I mean, my early days, you know, I was very lucky that I got offered Out of Africa, you know, a huge picture for my experience. I wasn't prepared to do that sort of work. I wasn't prepared. I mean, I lasted 2 days, and luckily Freddie got better and came back, you know. And I was very relieved, you know, because it was fear. I mean, you know, this guy has been making films for a very long time. And know that at the end of the day, you can only be yourself, and you can do what you can do, and you can learn as you go along, you know. People don't mind you learning, you know, if you show that you're not going to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, you've got to speak up when there's something that you think is something you can't achieve. I mean, you got to remember that, you know, you are fallible, and you have skill levels that don't allow you to execute a shot that you're being asked to do, or you think it's not right. It's 50-50 whether you can achieve it or not, because you really got to be like 100% certain, yeah, we can do that. If you tough it out and say, yeah, we can do it, and then you fail, it's better to actually own up to it first and find a way around it, because you're in a very exposed position as the operator. You know, you always have to be aware of that, but there again, people, you know, will support you if you're you know, if you're honest about, you know, what you can do. I mean, I remember starting off when I was young as a very green B camera operator on quite a big picture with a very experienced A camera operator, and we had a shot to do which involved somebody falling off a canoe in water into a river. And the A operator, who was doing the big wide shot, nice tracking shot of the canoe going down the river, he was there with a fluid head. We only had 2 heads on this particular job, and the other was a geared head. And he said to me, he said, Pete, you take the geared head, and of course I got the B camera shot following the chap falling from the canoe into the river. And I didn't think at the time, I thought, well, I've got to impress here because he's given me the geared head. And I did the shot, and yes, of course, it was terrible. I mean, I missed him completely. I couldn't get the geared head to move quick enough, and spent the whole week waiting for rushes to come back for the DO, because it was on film, and the video assists then weren't that good, so it wasn't as if they weren't really looking at the B camera shot, they were looking at the A camera shot. So I was terrified waiting for the rushes to come back, and sure enough, we all went in to see rushes, and they were, you know, I'd missed the guy going in the river, and I was thinking, that's it, you know, I'm going to lose my job over that, you know. And the DOP came up to me after the rushes viewing, and he said to me, don't make him bully you into using the geared head again if you don't want to. And that taught me that I should have just spoken up and said, why don't you take the geared head and I have the fluid head, you know? But I just toughed it out, and
it's been
and
really
it was a second
comfortable,
chance
isn't it?
I got. Yeah,
It's been really comfortable when you're doing something, you know. I mean, nobody minds that you say, "Boys, I need to change the head." They mind when you miss the guy. You know what I mean? You know, it's like in the old days, everybody wanted to get into the gear heads and learn how to operate them and the rest of it. I used to say, look, don't try to follow somebody fast on the gear head until you know how to use the gear head. Do the static shots on the gear head, and then you begin to get the feel for it. And then slowly begin, you know, don't say, oh, give me a gear head and I'm going to do everything with a gear head, because, you know, in the old days they used to say, oh, if you can write your name or a figure of 8 or whatever, you will be very good. It doesn't work like that, you know, because you respond different, you know, you do different things, you know, the challenges, you know.